So E3 is now upon us, and as we know from this annual event comes a plethora of information and previews dropped on games that are due to be released this year or in 2018. And with Total War's presence at this year's games convention, we expected new details to be unveiled on Total War Warhammer 2, and of course Creative Assembly have duly delivered. Now apologies, this video comes to you later than expected, but with my recent knee operation, which I talked about in an update video that I uploaded a couple of days ago, check it out if you haven't already, it makes it difficult to spend large amounts of time at my PC creating videos. However, this is getting easier as each day goes by, and the new information we have is something I wanted to share with you, so I took it as a sort of a better late than never approach with this video. Okay, so the two big revelations that we received this week are, one, the release date of the game, and the indirect confirmation of the fourth playable race to be Skaven. And this is something I'll come back to in a moment. So Thursday, September 28th, 3 months from now, we have been told will be the date of release for Total War Warhammer 2, and the developers have said that they don't expect this date to change either. We did see that happen in the first game, however, and anything in game development is possible, but I remain confident this most likely won't happen with the second title, because the foundations of the game's design is already in place from the first title, so transition over to game 2 won't be as much of a task as it was with Warhammer 1. And speaking of that, this is why I'm not surprised, whereas others may possibly be, that the release date is coming in September. I was expecting this. I made a prediction on the Warcast a while back that I wouldn't be surprised if we get a release date announcement of Warhammer 2 at E3, and then that will be in September. And this makes sense for me as it fits in with their previous release cycle, where they released Total War games in the later stages of the year, around the September period. Plus, they have been working on the game for some time, and as I said, with them already having a foundation of Warhammer 1 in place, it gives them leverage to release the game sooner rather than later. So as I just mentioned, Skaven have now been confirmed as the fourth playable race for Total War Warhammer 2. Nonsense! This is preposterous! Skaven? There is no such thing! But in all seriousness, the vast majority of people, this comes to as no surprise at all. We all knew it was on the cards from the moment we saw the rat teaser at the end of the announcement trailer of the game back in March. Now you're now probably scratching your heads thinking, hang on a second, where is this reveal from Creative Assembly of the Skaven race? There was nothing being posted on their social media, etc. And this is because this confirmation has been indirectly revealed to us on some E3 artwork, which was then posted over onto Total War Reddit. But you can clearly see from the picture it is Skaven. The triangular symbol with the horned rat icon and the vermin skull placed on top, there is no doubt at all this is Skaven. And when you compare this to Creative Assembly's official picture of the embossed metal case, which you can receive as part of the Serpent God Edition, the picture is unquestionably identical, apart from the mini strategy guide conveniently hiding the Skaven faction icon. So with this in mind, and from us knowing the release date now, I would imagine that the Dark Elves will be revealed in more detail to us come July time, and then Skaven in August/early September, kind of like it was for Chaos in Warhammer 1 when we got to see the faction and their units in a lot more detail, fairly close to the game's release, if you remember. So the Serpent God Edition is like with Total War titles gone by, their collector's edition for Warhammer 2. And it comes with Serpent God lizard skin tone packaging, integrated art book, embossed metal case which I just mentioned, exclusive strategy guide, sticker sheet, canvas map with exclusive Lizardmen artwork, stone effect puzzle sphere, carved bone effect teeth totems, and a Saurus Blade USB with black library ebooks. So that looks pretty good. I mean, I've never really ordered these in the past, mainly because I haven't got room for them, but they do look pretty impressive. I have got one for Medieval 2 actually, and you know, if you did get this one, it would sit well if you already had the High King edition for the first game. Now in terms of shipping, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I would imagine it is to be worldwide. But the best thing to do would be to go and check over on Creative Assembly's Facebook and Twitter pages for more detail about it. But yeah, that is the collector's edition for Warhammer 2. Yeah, it looks pretty good indeed. I like it a lot. Now the last thing I want to briefly talk about is the early adopter bonus, which has also been revealed as well for Warhammer 2. So there was actually 3 announcements really, or 2 if you exclude Skaven. So Steam users who pre-order Total War Warhammer 2 or purchase within the first week of sale will receive free Total War Warhammer content as an early adopter bonus. The Total War Warhammer content will be playable in the first game ahead of Total War Warhammer 2's release, with further details soon to be revealed, which of course I will cover as soon as they're announced. So like with the first game, you have a pre-order bonus, but this is a good move to go for after the Chaos controversy last year. So if you pre-order Warhammer 2 or prefer not to take the risk and want to wait for reviews from gaming sites or us as YouTubers before buying it, but do so within the first week of it coming out, you will receive this content for free. Now this content, as stated, and I prefer this, I think Creative Assembly have done well here, is going to be for the first game, not Warhammer 2, just to clarify. So everyone will get the same Warhammer 2 at launch, pre-order or not. It will be the same game with the same factions, same content, same everything. It's with Warhammer 1 that this pre-order content will be available, as they have said, ahead of Warhammer 2's release date. Now we were told about this last week, if you remember, when Creative Assembly released some information to us in a blog, which I'll do a separate video on as well, about what is in the works for Total War. And they said there will be a new race pack released later in the year before Warhammer 2 is released. So this ties up perfectly. You would of course be able to purchase them as well if you don't pre-order or get Warhammer 2. You'll be able to buy this race pack for Warhammer 1 on the Steam store. And in terms of who they're going to be, well, there has been a lot of rumours in the community and a couple of hints dropped by Creative Assembly that it will be Norska. And what is good is that they mentioned the team have got some rather unique gameplay mechanics for this new race, and it will come with a small update to the main game and a free LC drop. This particular free LC will benefit not only the main game owners, but also DLC owners to this time apparently. So this sounds pretty interesting, and with the news that they are reworking the race and adding new mechanics in, I hope it will be Norska, as they could do with some updates to their roster, to their race from where they are currently in Warhammer 1. And I think it's good to see Creative Assembly doing this in general, to be honest with you. I hope to see more of this in the future, of them going back to previous games with the pre-order incentives. It shows that they still want to develop that game and not just Warhammer 2 or Warhammer 3, giving that sense that it is a trilogy of games and they want to continue to invest time into all 3 games down the line, especially from a balancing standpoint when we see all the campaigns combined together for the huge campaign playthrough that we'll get to do when the second and then the third game is released. Anyway guys, that is where I'm going to wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was just a short one, but be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for future reveals, news and gameplay previews that I have coming as we run up to the launch on the 28th of September of Total War Warhammer 2. And as always guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and farewell.